squeezed it. All right, welcome back to The Independent. Everyone in their right mind. Don't you wish you knew what we were talking about? I'm never going to tell you. But everyone has grown sick of that tiresome lesbian known as Justin Bieber. But there is breaking news tonight. Earlier today, Bieber turned himself in to the Toronto police. He's reportedly being charged with assaulting a limo driver. Who is he, Naomi Campbell? He's rude, he pees in buckets, and he gives Americans a bad name. But did you know he's Canadian? Over 100,000 Americans have signed a petition to the White House to get the Biebs back on the next bus to Moose Knuckles, Saskatchewan. And now the White House, because there are so many signatures, whenever you get a petition with more than 100 people responding, the White House has to respond. The president loves deporting people, but do these pop culture defenders have a case? Andrew Carell, I go to you.
I think it's just anti-Canadian racism to say we should deport him. But but seriously,
I bet Canadians don't want him. I bet they're like, yeah,
well, that too.
We'll take Rob Ford can be the imperial magistrate of the entire province.
But he's here on an O1 visa, which is just specifically non-immigrant. He can't be deported unless he commits like a violent crime or something that's a year or more in jail.
Spitting on people, throwing eggs.
I mean, he has to like stab somebody.
Groping models.
And also, like, what is more American than being rude and obnoxious and egging houses and being drunk and driving a lot? I mean, that's...
I mean, John Lennon in his famous Lost Weekend in L.A. when he left Yoko Ono for 18 blissful months, presumably. All he did was just do terrible things, put tampons in his head and punch people in the face. And
this only enhances his brand, though. I actually feel bad for the limo driver.
Actually, his record sales have plummeted.
I'm talking about long-term, Miss Kennedy. I'm talking about the big time. When he
I don't know, man. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's got fickle fans. I don't think he's transitioned. He's not Miley Cyrus. Okay, Miley Cyrus pulled the nonsense with the draft tongue and then had the #1 album in the country.
He's taking a little hit right now so that he can rise like the phoenix.
I didn't know you were a believer.
I have a PhD in Bieberology, but I will say this. I feel bad for the limo driver because you do not want to be known as the guy who gets beaten up by Justin Bieber.
I know, because now we know how tall he is and how much he weighs. 5'9", 140.
And a great basketball player. I saw him at a celebrity NBA basketball thing. The best player on the court. I kid you not.
That 5'9" is definitely an exaggeration. He's a small boy. That is not possible.
But let's feel bad for people who actually get busted on tiny little things, or who have a 20-year-old pot bust on their record and have been in this country legally otherwise, and then they get caught in a database and have to rot in immigration jail, which is just about the worst place you can be.
And there is a disparity, isn't there?
There's a huge disparity, of course. If you're a low-skilled immigrant in this country and you have a little drug offense on your record, you can be separated from your family. There's a lot of horrible stories that have been going on all past administrations, and no one's really doing anything.
Then why did Piers Morgan and Justin Bieber get a pass when the hardworking people who come to this country to make their lives better, all of a sudden they're the criminals?
They get a pass because it's the O1 visa, which is specifically only designed for people like Piers Morgan and Justin Bieber. But also there's the disparity. Similar to drug war, there's a disparity. I mean, you made.
Okay, Buck, you have 10 seconds. Go ahead.
There's a double standard here. I mean, a conservative pundit can't drive around shirtless in a yellow Lamborghini, get arrested for drunk driving, tell the cops to go blank themselves, and it helps him.
Actually,
that's unfair.
He could totally do that, and it may just help him.
Didn't Yasiel Puig just do that exact same thing?
I didn't realize his conservative punditry had been so stylish.
Did you see his pink shorts?
No.
That arrest video is fantastic. Yasiel Puig, he plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he got arrested for something very similar. Except he doesn't pee in buckets, all right? Because he represents.
Important detail.
All right, well, we have some supersized jelly beans in New Jersey, because Jersey is hosting the Super Bowl, but New York is getting all the perks. Most big game attendees are staying in the Big Apple, and though New Jersey wanted the NFL experience, it was awarded to Manhattan, complete with a Broadway attraction and a toboggan run. Fun. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be live with Shepard Smith from there talking about the big game. I'm so excited. Now, does New Jersey have legitimate beef? And should they be at all surprised?
Shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is pretty typical of the edifice obsession that we've seen plenty of city-states wrestle with. They go and they finance huge stadiums, or they bring the Olympics or the Super Bowl to town. They hope to capture the windfall, and it almost never works out the way they expect.
It's working out great for New York.
Yeah, Jersey is getting it twice because
but it's working out for Manhattan. Yeah,
of course it is. But apparently, then people aren't spending as much as they estimated even for Manhattan, and that's and also it's the seen in the unseen. You see all these people coming in. It looks like you're getting all these new tourists, but actually they're displacing tourists that would otherwise be there because they're raising the rates for hotels by having an influx. I mean, it looks like there's a lot lot of people coming.
You guys are all about freedom and free markets. I mean, this is sort of like East Berlin and West Berlin without the wall, right? I mean, clearly, you just go to the better part, which in this case is New York City. Yeah, it is more dangerous to cross.
So do you think that Rob Menendez and Cory Booker should just shut their pie holes and go back and snuggle Snooki?
I mean, they might want to deal with the strange odor that one may be accustoed to if he lives in New Jersey, but for the rest of us, it just sort of walks around. I'm from New York City. I can say this stuff.
Oh, I see how it is.
That's right. Laying it down, NYC stuff.
Hasn't Jersey been a little bit too uppity in the last couple of years anyways? I mean, there's so many reality TV shows, Chris Christie's in everybody's face. Kind of enough already.
Yeah, I'm sick of them.
Wow.
They got the football stadium. They can
got very uncomfortable.
I'm not going to pile on.
My bottom is chafing, and I've hardly visited New Jersey. I feel bad for you guys.
There's no way to sit in Giant Stadium on a cold night and not freeze. It's almost impossible if you're outside. You'd have to sit on a heater of some kind. It's impossible.
I'm going to sit on a heater with a bottle of whiskey and some hobo chili. All right, get your game face on and get your avocados ready to mash, because Friday, it's our Super Bowl special at 9 p.m. and midnight Eastern time. That's 6 and 9 in the West. Ooh, it's going to be so good. Matt and I are going to have a little bit of a competition. Jay Carney is trying to be like Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty, but no one feared Jay's beard. Both fellas make an appearance in the topical storm. That's coming up next.